What's up everybody, Steven Z Killer here. It's time to bring you a new reaction video. But before that, 75% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed. This means two things. You're either brand new to the channel or returning. And I do hope that this video gets you to hit that subscribe button today. Last year, we didn't hit our goal of 400,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. We almost got there, and we were so close to 100,000 new subscribers in that year. But I still need more people to join and subscribe to get my channel to hit 1 million subscribers. This upcoming year, the new goal is 500,000 subscribers, and I need you to hit that subscribe button today so we can hit it this year. I know we can do it. What's up everybody, Steven Z Killer here bringing another reaction to some more of the amazing Digital Circus. And just like always, the newest episode was released and fandoms are going crazy. There are so many things people are trying to break down, trying to figure out the lore of when it comes to the amazing Digital Circus. And today is no different. Instead of a video breakdown or an animation, we have an alternate universe storyline that a fan has created, and I'm always down for this type of stuff. Now, recently I've been watching this channel in particular when it comes to Infection alternate universes lore explained. I've been watching a ton of these videos. They're outstanding, and I love watching them because they add little extra horror elements, because the infection can kind of be like a zombie virus or something creepy pasta like and all that kind of good stuff. So my idea, I'm wondering if this is going to be an infection that's going to be through the NPCs, because there's not a lot of characters when it comes to the amazing Digital Circus that could be like, I don't see this lasting long because there's just not that many characters. And of course, if Caine himself had gotten infected, I think that would literally just be the end of everything for all the characters, because of how powerful he is. But that being said, let me know what you guys' thoughts on this. We're going to show support today. Link for this video will be down below. Like the original one, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let me know what your theories on, and if this ever continues, I will definitely be checking out more. So, also, I recently did react to, of course, episode 5 that was just released. If you haven't seen my reaction to episode 5, go check it out. It was a fun episode. I also watched a breakdown video. Check out that video as well. Or anything else amazing Digital Circus that you guys are interested in watching. Anyways, let's check out this Infection AU and enjoy it right now.
With the release of episode 5 of the Amazing Digital Circus, a bunch of you have been asking me to cover the Infection AU created by Cemetery over on TikTok.
Ooh,
At this point,
okay.
most of you are probably familiar with this animation. It deals with a group of digital characters that were likely once human and have been trapped in this digital world. And this AI here, called Caine, is tasked with keeping the characters from going insane, because if they do, they become abstractions. However, this AU takes...
Oh, I didn't even think about that. What if the infections is more like the abstractions are starting to infect the world itself, not just the humans?
Takes place in a reality where the abstractions don't exist, but rather a virus that is corrupting the code of this digital world.
Oh, no, scratch that then.
And all the characters that reside there. Now, in the first chapter, we learn that the virus has always been present in this world, but it started to get more aggressive when Pomni arrived. And judging off the virus splattered on her bat here, it seems like she's been fighting a lot since she's arrived. And just like in the original animation, she is trying to find an exit, mostly because she doesn't think that there's a cure to this virus, and because she just wants out of this digital trap. After that, we see Ragatha, and it looks like she just recently got infected when Pomni arrived. Based on what I read here, it looks like Rag tried to protect Pomni and ended up being harmed in the process, which is kind of canon if you remember what happened to her in episode 1.
Yeah, she did kind of sacrifice herself for Pomni to kind of get away from the abstracted Cosmo. No, Cosmoth.
But it also looks like this virus is similar to the Pibby Darkness, and it's literally changing Ragatha's body, making her hand look more like a claw, We also learn that
Okay.
Ragatha is looking for a cure in this AU and doesn't even carry a weapon around because she doesn't want to hurt the people who were once her friends. Next we see Zoobles, and while she is helping Ragatha find a cure, it looks like she doesn't have a problem fighting the infected and is even considered to be their best tactical fighter in this AU. Part of the reason for this
Okay.
is that she doesn't get infected easily because she can just remove the infected part and replace it
You know, that's true. Oh, Zubo is kind of OP.
with a new limb since she's like a mix and match toy. And something else that I found interesting here is that she has a injury on her arm, but it wasn't from an infected, but rather from Jax. And as we can see here, while he is slightly injured, he is not infected at all. Jax has simply lost his mind and is actually finding joy in this new infected world. It
I honestly, that fits Jackson very well.
looks like Jax only cares about himself and is willing to take out.
Oh, I never even talked about this. If you guys are interested in other reactions I've done to this channel, I did watch Hazbin Hotel, Hell of a Boss, Sonic the Hedgehog, and recently, the most recent one before this, was Undertale Infection AU. So go check out those videos too.
Infected and clean people alike. And as we can see here, he actually says that he's just fighting for fun, and he's actually covered in infected blood and also has an injury here from fighting Zooble. And it makes sense that these two characters will be at odds with each other, especially after watching this latest episode where the two of them are basically at each other's throats the whole time.
They definitely
Bartender
yeah,
and
they
a
don't like each
tattoo
other.
artist. You're killing me here, Zuby.
What do you mean when you say that? Do you have, like, an actual point, or are you just talking?
I'm just having fun. I forgot you hate fun.
Fun isn't the thing I hate.
Just like in the original series, we see that Kinger is still crazy as heck, and since he's been in this digital world the longest, he has witnessed every stage
He's got a crown pendant for his wife.
to this virus. Ragatha, though, seems to believe that Kinger is crucial to finding a cure, although since he has lost so much of his memory, it's actually hard to get any real help from him. I also want to point out that Kinger has this queen chess piece on his chain
Yeah.
here, and this is a way to help him to remember his wife. Next, we see Gangle, and I was sad to
Oh, fuck!
say that she is fully infected at this point, but it's interesting to see how her body has changed into like this ribbon monster. She also
And it has both the comedy and the sad mask combined with this dark infected face.
has 3 masks now instead of 2, with one of them being like this shadowy figure. And the characters have stated that they can hear her crying out in pain, but they believe that it's just a trick to get them to come out of hiding. And I think that those characters may be correct.
To be fair, I think she would definitely be an easy target and or around probably one of the first to be infected. Yeah.
Because as you see here, when uninfected people are close to her, this ribbon will start to glitch, making Gangle the perfect huntress in a way. Next we see Caine and Bubbles, and the fact that he's infected is a huge deal. Not so much for Bubbles. Caine is basically the AI that is in charge.
What the
Infected
fuck?
is a
Oh shit! I was wondering if Caine was going to be infected or maybe be one of the reasons that not everyone's dead. But no. And dear God, Bubble has like spider eyes.
huge deal. Not so much for Bubbles. Caine is basically the AI that is in charge of this world, but it seems like even though he was aware of the virus contaminating the world, he was not strong enough to stop it. But that doesn't mean that he didn't try, and that's actually how he ended up getting infected in the first place. He wanted to save the humans here, but he wasn't able to. And even though he's not aggressive now that he's infected, Caine is still trying to protect the humans by staying away from them. I think Caine understands that
okay.
even before he was corrupted, he was kind of a wild card and a bit unstable. So now that he's corrupted,
Yeah, just a little bit.
he definitely runs the risk of destroying not only the characters here, but also parts of this world, because he can snap his finger and just make things disappear. After that, we get this image of Pomni talking to Cosmo, and we get to see that he's actually infected. And to make matters worse, he's also already at the 3rd stage.
Oh, what the fuck?
It looks like he was the person that actually informed Pomni that there was a exit to this digital world, but unfortunately, he didn't realize that he was already infected, with the infection points actually starting at the palms of his hands. I also find it kind of creepy that when he got infected, he basically got this forever smile on his face, and he can no longer even speak because his jaw is basically locked.
Ah.
At the end of the first 2 chapters, we get a couple of interesting developments. The first is that Rag asks Zubul to cut off her infected arm, and the second is that Pomni spits up some of the infection. And this means that even though Ragatha tried to protect Pomni, somehow she still ended up getting infected, even though I don't think that she was touched by any of the infected creatures. In the next chapter, Cemetery goes through each of the stages of the infection, using Rag as an example, basically showing what could happen to her if Zubul didn't cut off her infected arm in time. And the first stage is pretty tame, with increased stress and a little bit of black substance leaking from her eye. Stage 2 though is where things get bad. This is where the person starts to panic, and when they do that, that forces the virus to spread inside of them faster and also burst out of any wounds that they have, and of course out of their eyes. For some reason they blacked out stage 3 here, but we've already seen what that looks like with Kaufmo. And then lastly we get stage 4, and just like with Gangle, Rag's form is larger and also has additional limbs. And any behavior that she has that resembles the original Ragatha is just a trick to get the survivors to reveal themselves so that she can infect them with this needle that she's holding. But to be clear, this isn't canon right here. This was just
This is just a what if Ragatha didn't get her arm cut off in time. Gotcha.
creator's way of showing all the stages and what could have happened to Rag if Zubul wasn't quick enough, or if they didn't actually cut away all the infection. But in the next chapter, we get confirmation that Zubul was able to chop the arm off in time, saying that she hopes Pomni was worth Rag losing her arm. Especially since Pomni was really freaking out when she first arrived in the digital world. Which, while you can't really blame her, it's kind of hard to think that she's going to be much help when she's having a full mental breakdown. But with Ragatha being her normal, optimistic self, she says that it's all going to be okay in the end. And then she goes to find Pomni, and we see that Pomni is still freaking out, not being able to come to terms with what's happening to her, or that all of this is real and not just a dream. And judging by the corrupted color in her eyes, I think that it's safe to say that she definitely did manage.
It's probably one of the fastest alternate universes where we see one of the, like Pomni. I didn't expect her to be infected and transforming so quickly.
To get infected somehow. And when Ragatha says, "Oh my God, your eyes," I thought that she was speaking to Pomni, but she's actually speaking to Kinger here, who also seems to have been infected, or at least his eyes have the same infected glow as Pomni's. But when Rag tries to find out how he's feeling, Kinger just says that he heard her and asks if they heard her as well. And then we see this image of his wife fully infected, seemingly looking right at him. And then we get this dark image of Kinger. And while it's kind of hard to read, we see that he's saying, "Don't you see her too?" Showing not only that Kinger has really gone off the deep end, but also why he's crazy. It seems like in this AU, his wife probably got infected way earlier, since they were two of the first people actually to be stuck in this digital world. And once she was corrupted, Kinger slowly started to lose his mind, just like in the original show. Now, before we can see what Kinger is going to say next, we see an axe fly out of nowhere and hit him in the back of the head, luckily with the
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like it got hit with the blunt end of the axe. And I'm going to say this right now, it's probably Jax.
blunt side. And judging by Jack's reaction here, it looks like he was actually trying to take Kinger out. And of course, this ticks Zubul's off because she believes that they need Kinger to create a cure, while Jax is just out here to stir more chaos, or so it seems. But he does say here that Kinger may be able to infect people, but as Rag points out, Kinger hasn't been attacked by any infected, so he should be clean. But judging by the fact that Pomni also seems to be infected and she was never attacked, this may be like
it could be kind of airborne, maybe?
a Last of Us type situation where digital spores or something are floating around and infecting people without them really even knowing. And if that is the case, it's GG for this AU, because I don't know how they can avoid it. Now, after that, we see that Zubul and Jax are still arguing, but Jax makes another important point when he says, "Let me say this slowly so you'll understand. No cure will ever exist. Got it?" And this is really all it takes to plant that seed of doubt into Pomni. And then we see her eyes take on that infected color again. And while Pomni is having this internal struggle, wondering if she's going to lose her life to this virus, the creator does something cool.
The infection's going to spread faster and faster.
In this scene here, we see that Jax and Zubul's are both trying to get Pomni to join their side. And then we see this message pop up at the bottom of the screen that says admin access granted. And this is basically the fourth wall being broken, basically allowing Pomni to now hear the people leaving comments on the TikTok video. And
Whoa! Okay, that's cool. So a little bit of fan interaction might also take a direction of like where the story goes. Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot.
Creator has basically made it to where the audience gets to choose what Pomni does next. Does she go with Jax or does she go with Zoobles? Put down in the comments who you think would be the best.
To be fair, like I don't mind Jax. I know a lot of people hate Jax. I don't mind him as a character. I think he's complex. He's an asshole, but he has like reasonings that are slowly developing, slowly hinted at for why he acts the way he acts. There's lots of theories and stuff like that out there, but Zooble is definitely the better choice in this alternate universe, because at least Zooble will not like betray you. I feel like Jax will still end up like betraying Pomni. Like first chance he gets, he might just take her out while she's asleep and all that stuff, but her infection, if it spreads, it could be for the best, of course. But Zooble will at least give you a more fighting of a chance without having to worry about watching your back.
Bet for Pomni. In the next chapter, we get to see a series of images that merge the TikTok comment section with the artwork, and we can see how the comments are affecting Pomni's decisions. And while we obviously know what's happening, Pomni believes that she is just hearing random voices and is unsure if she should listen to them or not. But eventually she gives in and listens to the comments saying to go with Zoobles, which in my opinion,
You got this, Pomni, go with Zooble. Ah, okay.
is the right choice. And even though Zooble gives her a hard time, I think that that's just her personality, and she is actually really happy to have Pomni on her side. Also, judging by the way that Jax looks here, I'm positive that Pomni made the right choice.
Yeah, because I think if Pomni went with Jax, the moment that they were separated from Zooble and the others, I think Jax would have killed Pomni. I really do.
I feel like if she would have gone with him, he would have likely tried to take her out. Now back over with Ragatha, we see that she's getting ready to tie Kinger up so that they can see if he's infected. And if he is, she wants to watch him go through his transformation and see if they can learn anything from each of the stages. And while Pomni doesn't agree with this plan at all, I do kind of understand where Rag is coming from. They should try to learn everything they can about the virus. But considering that Pomni has already seen Kaufmo transform and learned nothing from it, I think it's safe to say that they need a new plan. But before they can make any decision, we see that Kinger pops up and he is still seeing visions of his late wife. Something that I find interesting here though is that when Rag asks him how he's doing, Kinger is aware that he isn't good. He says that he's hearing and seeing things, which kind of shows that he may not be completely crazy, because real crazy people don't know that they're actually losing their mind. And while Pomni makes a comment here talking about how hearing voices seems to be common in this world, I don't think that Kinger is hearing the voices of the comment section like Pomni is.
I don't think he is.
And at the end of this chapter, we get another admin prop asking in the comments what they should do about Kinger. And then we see the comments come flooding in, most of them telling her to keep Kinger alive and safe, but also overwhelming Pomni in the process with all the chatter. And it was kind of cool to see the comment section start to take on the form of like the abstraction, or maybe this is supposed to be the virus, but this looks very much like the abstractions in the original series, which I think implies that all this feedback may be too much for Pomni and is having a negative effect on her sanity. And we even get to see Caine make an appearance for the first time here, inferring that Pomni is on some kind of adventure, and also acknowledging that she is different than the other characters in this world, which may be why the virus started to act up more when she arrived, and why it doesn't seem to affect her like it does some of the other characters. Because if you notice, Pomni still hasn't succumbed to the infection, although it looks like she's been infected for a while now. Now, based on the comment section, Pomni has decided to keep Kinger safe for now, and while Rag doesn't look happy about it, she seems to be willing to go along with it for the time being. Pomni also reveals to her team that she saw Caine, and this is where we get confirmation from Ragatha, basically telling us that Caine is still the ringleader of the circus, and he even did try to fix the virus, but when he ended up getting infected for his efforts, he hid away because he didn't want to risk hurting any of the other characters, which is pretty much what I imagined was going to happen. Because when you think about it, Caine is a bit quirky, but he's never been evil or like actively trying to hurt the
he doesn't have bad intentions, but he's also an AI And yeah,
their characters. So in a way, he is kind of looking out for these characters still, even if that is just with his absence. After that, we see Rag ask Kinger if he's still hallucinating, but before he can really answer, he is suddenly dragged away. And I assume, based on the ribbons here, that this is
Oh, it's
Gangle
Gangle!
finally making her appearance. And if that wasn't bad enough, it looks like Zubul also disappears at the same time, forcing Rag and Pomni to have to make a choice. Do they go after Kinger or try to find Zubul, who is their best fighter? And not being able to decide, Pomni looks back at us in the comment section.
Kinger possibly has the information for the cure of the virus, but is so crazy and is slowly losing his mind due to the virus and manipulating him. He is on his way to Gangle, which would definitely kill and/or infect Kinger to the point of no return. Or try to find Zubul, which she could be captured by Caine, captured by Jax, but not infected. I think right now, Kinger might be the more obvious choice that I would vote for, personally. But the loss of Zubul would be tough. But the thing about her is she can replace parts, so I don't think she can get infected easily. And she's a solid fighter. So, probably the best fighter of the group. Stated earlier, too.
Asking for our help, which I think should obviously
So, if anything, she has the higher chance of getting out if they don't go after her.
be them going after Kinger. I feel like Zubul's can probably handle herself, or at least for a little while
Let's
Kinger
go.
is going to need help ASAP. And even though
Yes.
he is a little bit crazy, I still think that he's the most intelligent person on the team right now. And he probably has the best chance of helping them find a cure, especially when he has
agree.
those moments of clarity. But unfortunately, we're left on a cliffhanger with this AU. But
Oh.
hopefully, Cemetery will continue it soon. Because judging by his comment section, it looks like a lot of people still want to see how this continues. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, check out this video on the screen here. Hit the join button today to become a member of the Ors Force, and we will see you tomorrow with another video.
All right. Well, I will definitely be checking out more in the future. If you guys have suggestions of what other infection AUs or whatever videos from this channel you want me to watch, or if there's other ones out there that you want me to watch, let me know about them down below in the comments or post our action idea section. This is interesting, and I hope we can get a sequel episode. I don't think it's common. I don't think I've seen a lot of like suggested videos that have like a sequel to it. I've only been seeing one-off videos, so I don't know how often these infection AUs get a sequel or part 2 of some sort, giving us more information. But hopefully we do, because I want the Undertale one. I want, of course, the Hazbin Hotel Hello Boss one. I want, of course, actually the Sonic infection one. We did one of them, the Metal Virus one. We did technically get the whole story, and so on and so forth. So hopefully we get a part 2 to this as well at some point. But stay tuned for more, and if you have suggestions, comment down below. If you guys want to check out more videos, there's plenty for you to enjoy on my channel when it comes to this type of format videos that you want me to react to, or other ones, animation, music, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, later!